Okay, well, it's been a week since I've been in the workshop. I've been helping the other half with her new project, and I'm sure that's going to be a bit more of a drain on my time. But we've got the gearbox on, so I'm looking to see what the next stage is. Thought I'd have a little look at these radiators, see what I can do to freshen these up. I've got a rubber mount corroded into there that I've got to try and free up. Got a few little dinks in the cooling fins that I'm going to try and straighten out carefully. Just generally clean it all up, get the two-stroke oil off of it. There's a few scratches and dents around the top there, which I think I might just see if I can blow it in the top and the surround a little bit with a bit more black paint, and just generally clean it all up. I'm not too keen on this either, on the bracket, so that may get replaced. Let's have a little look, see how all that's working. Looks like it's just sort of stuck on with some mastic. That's an angle which is made up there. So just generally clean it up and tidy it best I can. And that's pretty much shot. Really corroded all that rubber pipe. So I suppose it should look a lot more like that. So that just looks like a bit of an ancient relic. So yeah, there's a few bits we can do to improve this, I think. I've got to get some more of these rubbers. There were a few that came with the gearbox, which I've put up on that top mount, but these ones want replacing, and there's some more to go on the bottom. I think they're £20 each is what I've been told, so if anybody can think of a cheaper place to get them, I'd be grateful to hear that, because that's going to be £60 worth of rubber mounts just for that. That adds up quite quickly. So there we go, there's a rad all stripped down, just this overflow tank just to strip off. This took a bit of getting off, it was all rusted in there, but a bit of WD-40 sorted that out. So yeah, cleaning up and painting and reassemble with some new hoses and some new clips coming up next. Whilst I'm waiting for a few of these bits to turn up for the radiators, namely these, a posting on the Microlite forum on Facebook has helped. Everybody's been chipping in, and I've managed to find that Rotax do these bobbins, but if you are a go-kart user or driver, you get to buy these for £5.50 rather than the £22 if you are an aircraft owner. They're exactly the same size, 25mm diameter by 20mm wide with a 6mm bolt. So instead of the 4 of those costing me £88, I've got all 4 for, well, just over 20 quid. So looking forward to those turning up. In the meantime, I bought myself some lock wire, got myself some new lock wire pliers, and I got some gear oil. So it's EP85W, that's to go in the gearbox. So I'm going to set about doing that now. Okay, so here we are with the gearbox. There's 2 drain plugs on the gearbox because it can go either way up. So in this setup, it's the lower drain plug. So you just got to take that out, and from the manual it says that we fill the gearbox until we see oil emerging from this plug. It also gives you how many centimeters cubed it takes, which is, I think, is about the same as, or is the same as milliliters. So it's about 180 milliliters just to fill this bottom section. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to pop it in there next. Okay, so my bottle's got this handy tube on the top. So let's see how much we can get inside the gearbox and not over the outside. And it looks like I'm bound to be getting some on my leg shortly, but there it goes. Okay, don't know if we can see that, but here it comes. So I've just found the level, and the oil's just working its way through and making its way out. So that's 180 mil, or just a little bit over now. So I shall just let it find its proper level on that and put the screws in, and we'll put some lock wire on. I've already done the sump plug. That's how that looks. First time on lock wiring. So there we are, all lock wired up. Top breather pipe, or vent or plug, or whatever it's called. The two filler screws and the bottom sump plug. Great stuff. Bit of a contrast to when I was putting the bulkhead. Here we are, just going to freshen up these radiators a little bit and put a bit more black paint on them, just very lightly, just to fill in all these scratches and bits and pieces around the top and the bottoms, and make them look a little bit smarter. So here we go. Okay, my new radiator mounting bushes have turned up, or the Lord mounts or bobbins or whatever they call them. So there's an old one along with two new ones, and dimension wise I'd say they're pretty much spot on. It's got the same M6 threads on there. They are slightly thinner as far as the plate's concerned, and I'm not 100% sure that they are the same sort of stiffness, but there's not much in it, so I think they're a suitable alternative. I come from this company called KKC Carting Components, and as I say, instead of £22 for Rotax aircraft bushings, these are listed as Rotax go-karting bushings, so £5 instead of 22. I think they're well worth a go. So there's a couple I've already fitted. Now I'm after a bit of advice on two fronts. I've used a bit of old silicone hose, or new silicone hose that I've got, to replace the existing hose. So the advice I'm after is, A, is that even a permitted mod for aircraft? And I'm not too sure whether it's a little bit too Boy Racer Citroen Saxo. I suppose it goes with the blue top on the engine. So yeah, let's hear it. Does it look awful? Is it permitted? I'll find out obviously when I take the aircraft down to have it signed off, but not sure yet whether it is the wrong sort of look. Anyway, I'll pop it on so I can just get things loosely assembled. It can always be changed later if I decide I don't like it. Next little job is to see what I can do to replace this bracket that was already on the engine, or on the old engine, to hold on this small tube, which was basically the expansion tank for the radiators. So it's it looked a little bit hastily knocked up and just sort of stuck together with the silicone, so it was never coming off, but let's just see if we can come up with something a little bit more elegant. And this is my piece of aluminium, pretty much the same thickness stuff, so let's see what we can make. Okay, well, it's taken me best part of the evening to make the new bracket, but there it is compared to the old one that was on there. And this one, it will slide through and grip it all the way round. and I'll mount it on the same place on the radiator. I've made a little telltale or inspection hole there so that I can see if see where the fluid is whilst it's mounted, because the other one left the side exposed. But there's no cable ties on this one or any silicone, it will just grip it quite nicely. So let's mount it all on and just see what the finished effect looks like. And there we have it, mounted on the radiator. Just going to pop the radiators back on the engine now. Now we have the touched up rods put on the engine. I've just got to do up these Lord mounts and put some new nuts and washers on there. There's the new overflow tank or catch tank, expansion tank on its bracket. Just got to pop the radiator cap back on. Let me know what you think of these silicone hoses, whether they're a no-no or whether you think they look fairly offensive. Got to get a new hose to link the bottoms of the radiators together. I think they were about £80. The one that came off doesn't look too bad a condition, but it's as old as the aircraft, I could assume, so probably well overdue for a change. So I better get a new one. And then we've got some other bits and pieces that I've got to link up. Again, I could use silicone hose for this one. And I think there's another one at the back here, if I'm not mistaken. I'll get round there and have a look tomorrow. So yeah, that'll do for tonight.